because I'm too scared to mess with the audio. So. Okay, we're live. I don't know if that was very good, but I think we're live and it should work. It sounds like it's working. It looks like it's working. If it's not working, only so much I can do. Okay. Hey everyone, Matthew here running Sagas of the Shimmering Sea. This is The Chosen Few. We play on Sundays. It's a lot of fun. Come check us out. We're very cool. We're mostly musicians and music teachers in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that's a fun life to be sometimes. And we also play games. So woot woot. We had a level up last time, so let's go the full round robin and level up everyone. And everyone I've put in the wrong box. I'm gonna fix the boxes as we do the level up. So. Let's see, who's in the right box? Well, loosely, the least wrong is Narash and Caliban's box. Narash, can you tell me about your level up?
Yeah, well, I gained some hit points. I rolled a 7, which was pretty sweet. And I gained a 6th level spell, which seems pretty powerful.
What spell did you take?
I took Windwalk.
Ooh.
So that will allow myself and up to 10 other people to essentially turn into air and travel very quickly if need.
That sounds very powerful and very useful. I'm excited about that. So we're gonna keep that going. That sounds very cool. 7 hit points, Windwalk. Wow, powerful stuff. Okay, it looks like I fixed everyone else up. Cool. Timothy, what about you? What'd you get?
Well, I got a Ranger Conclave feature, which was volley, which is pretty cool. So now, if there are enemies bunched up, I can shoot all of them as one action instead of just one of them.
Wow, that's mob attacker.
Yeah.
Deal with mobs. That's nice. That feels very,
Yeah.
I don't know, Captain America-y? I don't know, whatever. Winona playing Nova.
I'm a fighter, so I got another attack.
Hey, do not knock extra attack, especially as it starts scaling at higher levels. Getting 3 or even 4 attacks, and then action surging and doing 4 more attacks. You get to roll all those dice, and you get to hit those people so many times. It's pretty effective. Excellent. Thea, played by Ami.
So I got reliable talent. So at this level, whenever I make an ability check that lets me add my proficiency bonus, I can treat a d20 roll of a 9 or lower as a 10.
So your floor is just higher than everyone else's. You just can't be that bad at things. You're just good. You're just good at everything.
Feels good.
Excellent. And Slexa playing... Nope. Nika playing Slexa. Slexa's not playing Nika. Nika's playing Slexa.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Honestly, at this point, I couldn't tell you.
So, okay, a couple of things. Let's see. Some new spells, some of which she can use. So, see invisibility she can use. Some of which she can't, for who knows how long. She took greater invisibility as well, but don't have any 4th level spell slots, so who knows if that'll ever get used. Just wanted to have that in the back pocket for eventually down the road. Proficiency bonus bumping up to 4 was kind of huge. Both for that affects a bunch of things for Jack of all trades, and also for expertise.
Yeah, Jack of all trades, expertise. Also, like spell save modifiers and attack modifiers. Wow, Proficiency bonus up to +4, guys. That's pretty good.
And then the last thing was I took a feat this level.
Was this a level of Bard or Warlock for you?
Bard.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a little complicated. Like taking another level of Warlock would basically leave me like almost nothing. Right now, it would have given me a feat, but so would a level of Bard. So there was kind of like no real reason to take a level of Warlock. But Celexa's patron is kind of the one like pillar that she's leaning on right now in a lot of ways. And the fact that she gets her like warlock spells and invocations, those are like the few things of power that haven't been taken away from her by this curse. So I did decide to lead into that a little bit, and I took the Eldritch Adept feat.
Nice.
And I took that to power up her Eldritch Blast with the Agonizing Blast invocation.
Nice.
So even if she's kind of dying and can't cast very many spells, at least she will not be totally defenseless.
Yeah, you could blast people in a way that is agonizing.
In a way that, yeah, exactly. And also, speaking of Agonizing Blast, she gets a third blast.
Nice.
With the action. So now she's quite
Pew,
a bit
pew,
stronger in the distance, the like ranged attack. So, yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Exactly.
I like it. And what about beliefs, Alexa? I'm going to go backwards this time. So, Alexa, you're up.
So beliefs, this one I'm fine-tuning a little bit, but I kind of alluded to like updating Celexa's Guiding Light, and I think it is going to update to something along the lines of like aiding the Grand Court. I think that's kind of like with all the shit they've been through, that's like it always seems to come back to them being like the ones arguing for sanity, right? Or like the ones who are against them are the ones that seem to be causing the most shit and doing things like, I don't know, like cursing her to possibly.
Just as an example.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, I'm gonna iron out the specifics of the wording for that, but for right now, it's basically just aiding the Grand Court.
Aiding the Grand Court sounds good to me. That's a great guiding light. I think that's very exciting to have.
And then the other two beliefs she's going to keep from last time, using every means at her disposal to cure the Rakshas's curse, and then two, doing the best she can to hide what she knows from the party, especially Nova, since she knows that she distrusts Rakshas. So she's going to keep those two the same.
Beautiful. I like it. Thea, beliefs.
Alright, so my guiding light is the same. I want the team to get closer, all that good stuff. My belief one is the same as last time. Thea wants to find a way to thank Celexa for the Earth's blood tree. Maybe we'll find something in the city. Who knows? Belief two. So Thea is a little wary of this genie, but thinks he could prove to be useful. So she'll find out how to utilize him to best benefit the group.
Beautiful. And since I don't have my notes up, can someone remind me of this genie's name? I remember the character very well. I just don't have his name in front of me. If anyone had... Zito, that's right. Thank you. That makes... Oh, God. Okay. That makes perfect sense to me. Excellent. Nova and Winona. Beliefs.
Well, I kept mine the same as last time. My guiding light is to throw myself into danger to protect friends and family. My belief one is I'm going to make myself available for my friends and help them on their personal mission. And belief two is Nova's concerned about Celexa and will do what she can to help her feel better, whether she likes it or not.
Oh, I like it. Excellent. John, Timothy.
All right. As always, Timothy's guiding light.
I definitely don't go through a Rolodex of characters I've played with you before I see Timothy ever. Just to be clear.
It would help if I started making Timothy speak in the Brooklyn accent.
No, that would really hurt. That would really hurt.
Timothy abhors the law loss of innocent life, he will jeopardize himself and the mission to save even one life. And belief number 1, Timothy will help Narash study the tainted Citrine Algae and cash in his favor afterwards.
Ooh.
And then belief number 2, Narash and his off-planet flora has Timothy thinking, how is the rest of the natural world responding to the covering being lifted? He will work with Narash to learn about any unnatural goings-on in the area.
I love that. Especially since there is one. Cool. Narash.
Okay, well, first I'm going to do my impression of Timothy as a Brooklyner. Who wants to go fishing and then eat them in a compassionate way? Okay.
For those of you who are not aware, there's a second game that is off stream that involves several of the same people. That involves Timothy as a. Sorry, John is playing a very heavy Brooklyn accent, and is getting married to a very painful Jersey-based character, and it is delightful. Narash.
Okay. Well, my guiding light is the same. It's about building teamwork with my companions and ultimately hoping to get their help in my own quest. Belief 1 this week: it's time to figure out the citrine algae mystery, and that means trying the tainted material. With the help of Timothy's eye for science, Narash will become a lab mouse and attempt to Belief 2: Narash's experimentation with making a sleeping potion has rekindled his desire to work with plants. He will continue to try to create the medicine and seek help wherever he can find it to learn more about medicinal plants and substances on this planet. Maybe he can make his own modification to the algae.
Okay. We are going to start with Timothy observing Narash's body. Narash is on his back. Timothy, what are you doing? Are you taking notes? Are you staring? Are you drifting off to sleep? Like, what's going on with you?
I think Timothy probably set up a chair in front of the door, so there's no way that he can leave. And he's sitting there with a pad of paper and sketching notes. Then maybe there are a few candles around, just so I don't know. I picture it being nighttime.
Yeah, it's night.
Yeah, so just he doesn't miss anything.
Absolutely. Can you make an investigation or perception check? Your choice.
Okay. 25.
Yeah, absolutely. Narash's skin around the eyes seems to dry and flake. It's almost look like he's shedding from around his eyes. And his eyes, despite the fact that they are completely non-responsive to any light-based stimuli or anything, are open. And they have a pale blue sheen across them. His mouth is closed, but sometimes it is very relaxed, and like a little bit of drool or the tongue just lolls out for a little bit. It is a pseudo-catatonic state. And there's definitely like... but despite the pseudocatatonia, I will add, eyes don't glow blue normally. Sorry, just in case that wasn't obvious. There's something magical there going on. And so I think we see you looking at this, and maybe like we see you in a moment of like standing up to stretch because you've been staring at it for a long time and nothing's been happening. And then we're going to zoom into Narash's view. Narash, everything around you is formless. Objects seem to arise. A white claw, a crochet knife, a crochet needle, a lute. But as quickly as they arise, they fall back into nothing. And you look around, and this landscape around you is vast and sort of empty, but full of like hills going up and down. And you find yourself a little lost. Do you have any idea what you would want to do in this moment?
How self-aware am I that this is seemingly a dream?
100%.
Okay. Yes. So
you remember taking the drug, you remember lying down, you remember closing your eyes and opening them and being here.
I'm going to look in every direction to see if there's something that will draw my attention to, a place I might go in this dream.
You look in every direction, and west of you, there seems to be a hill, and on the hill there is a house.
Okay, I will set out for the house.
You walk, and as you walk, weird creatures seem to form next to you, little fish-like things that are swimming through the air next to you, or disrupt the ground, almost like a land shark. But they're not attacking, they're just traveling in the same direction as you, almost mimicking your motions.
I reach out and try to touch one.
Your hand touches one, and it feels a little bit like Jell-O. It's squidgy and squishy, and it sort of vibrates when you like rub along it.
I say, "Are you going with me?"
It looks up at you, and you see for the first time an eye form. It doesn't actually look like an eye. It's more like a indentation in the side of this snake fish creature that's in the shape of an eye, and it looks up at you and it just sort of nods.
I say, "I'm going to that house. What lives there?"
Looks up at you, sort of tilts its head in a circle.
Okay. Well, I will just accept its presence as my companion. I'm going to continue towards the house.
It keeps up with you, flying through the air next to you as you make your way towards the house. The hill leading up to the house is a little bit steep, steeper than one would necessarily expect. But you make it to the house, and you see a short, round person in front of it, watering a garden.
I'm going to go stand not directly next to, but close to that person. And first I want to observe the person to see if there's anything I recognize in terms of, like, is it a sort of creature that I recognize, or do I detect any sort of, like, whether this means anything in this world, but any kind of magical presence?
Yeah, absolutely. The creature is very, very round, barrel round almost, in size, and remarkably short. Probably a halfling in affect. I don't believe you've met Samo yet, but you can see that some of the other players are smiling and nodding because they have. So, yes, that would be what I would say. And this person sort of notices your presence and stops gardening and stands up and looks at you. What are you doing here?
I say, well, I decided to look inside myself for some answers, and here I am.
Well, come on in. Have some tea.
Thanks. What are you growing out here?
Dreams.
Oh.
And he walks inside the house.
Okay, I follow.
He kind of waddles up the stairs and sort of gestures to an area. There's a couple of couches and a chair, a couple of different chairs. One looks very practical, and one looks very comfy. There seems to be the walls are sort of an off green that have been painted, but probably not repainted in a while. Not that they're ugly. There's a desk that has a weird, very bizarre, shiny object on front of it. You've never seen anything like it before. There seems to be a keyboard instrument of some sort in the room as well, and some unusual paintings on the walls. And he gestures for you to sit in any of the seats you want and waddles off towards a different room of the house.
Okay, well, before I sit, I want to just unthreateningly go over and examine the shiny thing.
Yeah, it is a large, flat, and dark but shiny. It's sort of, despite its blackness, it seems to glisten. And as you get close, it seems to reflect your image.
Yeah, I'm going to take a close look at my reflection.
Yeah, it's slightly distorted, as if the glass of the mirror wasn't perfectly flat.
Well, I want to, understanding I might be breaking a little bit of guess etiquette here. I want to just lightly touch the surface where I see my face.
Yeah. It's cool to the touch, and touching it feels like you're touching cool metal, almost, or a mirror. Do you like
And then
that?
do I like the feeling of it? Yeah, it feels kind of comforting because I'm not sure where I am, and the cool feeling of it helps relax me a little bit.
You hear a whistle, and then it stops. And then Samo returns with 2 cups of tea, hands one to you, and then puts one down, and then notices the weird, formless, snake-like creature next to you, and leaves and comes back with a little bowl filled with crumpled up, crunchy things of some sort of chip maybe, or cracker. And
I want to seat in the practical chair and point to my little snaky friend and say, "He came with me. Do you know him?"
no, do you?
I mean, he's a fellow reptile, seemingly. We seem to have hit it off well.
He seems to like you.
I like him too.
Good. I'm Samo.
Oh, hi, Samo. My name's Narash.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
How'd you get here?
Well, that's the beginning of a long story, and I came here to ask some questions. I don't want to be rude. I'm happy to answer yours, but I got here in short by taking a drug called Citrine Algae that had been tainted, and I need to learn more about it.
Ah, I see. See Samo sort of get a vague look in his face and stare off into the distance for a minute. Well, how can I help you, Narash?
I say, well, first of all, I couldn't help but notice you have this very pretty little item over there, and I was just curious about it. What is it?
It's not something that you would understand. And it's
You know
not
what,
really that useful for you. It's it's pretty much nothing.
I'm willing to take that just on the face of it. Look, I don't even know if we're on the same planet, but I'm from off planet, and I came. on
Yes,
behalf of
Dregma,
my
right?
people. Oh, okay. Well, yes. Maybe we should just fast forward to what you don't know, so I don't end up.
Well, what are
repeating
your
it.
questions? You came here to ask me questions, right?
Well, yes. I guess I did. I didn't know I did, but now I do. What has happened to the citrine algae? What have they done to it? And what are its new purposes or uses?
They, being the Primarch and his ilk, and Hubert and his ilk,
Yes,
and your
And Sean.
sister.
correct.
Well, as you know on your own planet, the citrine algae has vague divination properties, allowing you to vaguely see aspects of the future that may or may not come true, but relatively do. Hence, it's useful for certain types of ceremonies. Their intent is to hone it into something substantially more powerful, more accurate, and more immediate.
So we learned that they had combined it with mind control potion or poison. Two-part question here, if you don't mind. What does that have to do with honing it to better divination? And two, will I be affected by that, having taken some of it?
It will affect you differently than it will affect some others. And it wasn't mind control poison, it was Earth's blood, an amplifier. Your scientist misidentified it.
Well, I'm glad he's watching over me now. Is there a way? Right now, I and my companions have really failed to gain control of the Citrine Algae again, and it's not looking good for us to do so in the immediate future. Is there a way for me to maybe make my own modifications of the Citrine Algae to fight back against what they're doing?
Sure.
Oh, we're gonna do this? Okay, what is that way?
You're the scientist.
Oh my gosh! But you're the dream person who's telling me all the things you already know.
Sure, and if you ask questions about dreams, I'd be able to tell you.
Oh, I see.
I don't know much about science.
Here's a very specific one. How can I access Shadra's dreams?
You are a druid of some sort, is that correct?
Yes, I happen to be a Circle of Elia druid from Dregna.
Beautiful. I'm pretty sure that as you grow in power, you'll be able to access a useful and powerful spell. I believe it's a... You said Circle of Elia. That's your moon, right?
That's correct.
Do you have any friends who are wizards or bards?
As a yes. Yes.
Find a wizard or bard who can cast spells of the Fifth Order. They'll be able to learn a spell that will do so. It's commonly referred to as the dream spell. Or dream. Easiest way to access someone's dreams for someone in your position.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because this friend is having trouble sleeping right now, and I've sort of been trying to whip up some concoctions to help her with that. But right now, all I really have is a sort of, we'll just call it a sort of pseudo narcotic. It's not quite powerful enough. Do I have my possessions with me, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, so I pull out the little pill I made. Do you know of some substances that on this planet that I can use to increase the efficacy of this?
Well, Earth's blood is a very powerful process that empowers whatever it really touches. It's very useful in that sense. It's a little bit dangerous and volatile, but well, it's one of the reasons that this planet is so sought after, is that it's one of the largest natural resources of Earth's blood. Much like yours is sought after for the Citrine Algae.
So let me get this straight. You're not omniscient. I can't just ask you where the store of the Citrine Algae is right now.
You could ask me that.
Where's the store of the Citrine Algae right now?
Yeah, it's divided into like at least 6 different places, but the primary one is in there's a warehouse that is hidden behind the palace in the capital Uxiatal of Priam. Songshore owns it.
Could you just come back to the waking world with me and hang out with us? Because you have a lot of useful information.
Come back to the waking world and hang out with you. Let me see. I could do that. It would be extremely painful and uncomfortable. Oh boy. I don't know. I feel like your team has spent enough time with me for a little while at least. They've got a lot going on. I don't really want to step on their toes. They've got to do their own thing. You've got to do your own thing too. Find your own path, do that whole thing.
Okay. Well, maybe one more question.
Sure.
How can I speak to my family on Dragmar?
A state secret. But in Sunera, there was a ship that crashed in the woods from off-world. And the Sunerans are still trying to get a handle on everything within it. But one of the things within it is, shall we say, a long-range communications device that'll work for you.
Wow. Well, this has been incredibly informative.
Sure, yeah. Easy to answer your questions. You don't ask anything hard.
Oh. How can I get back off planet?
Steal a ship. Or build one.
Well, great. What do you know about, oh my gosh, what's the god's name?
You can ask your teammates if you're curious.
Yeah, remind me, you guys, the goddess that we're, I believe goddess that we've been investigating.
Illumina Starboard.
Illumina Starboard, I'd say. What do you know about the current whereabouts or life status of Illumina Starboard?
She is broken. It would be quite an effort to repair her. I would love to see her again. She was a good friend.
Is the repairing of Illumina Starboard something that mortals can accomplish?
Of course. In fact, it is only you that can accomplish them. I can't do it, although I carry part of her.
Did we found a painting and a statue of Illumina in the in which we just were. Were those two parts of her?
Sure.
And by bringing all the parts together, does one recreate her actual being?
Well, there's a little more to than that. A ritual, a spell, song, dance, usual thing. But yeah.
Was that a hard question?
I mean, sometimes people come here and ask questions that I just don't know the answer to. Those are the hard questions, Like, the problem of consciousness. What is consciousness? That's a hard question. It's literally a hard problem. They literally call it the hard problem, Or, like, color. Color is weird. I don't know if you know this, but color is something that we all pretty much agree on and consistently see, but has no physical property within the object itself that you are seeing. It's an interaction of the way that the light...
That's really fascinating. Well, about Illumina Starborn, you know where the pieces are?
No.
No.
They are hidden. They are...
I asked a hard question.
Yeah.
Makes me feel real proud of myself, if you don't mind me saying so.
Good. Yeah, no, they're hidden, and much of them are hidden specifically from me. Because I would bring her back, if I could. Or I would send people to bring her back, if I could.
Two more questions. One, may I find you again in the same way that I found you this time?
You took their citrine algae and saw me. Perhaps, but I think that the odds are not 100%.
I'll take those odds. Last question. I miss the music of my home planet. I don't suppose you could play a little bit on the instrument over there?
Of course. He goes and he picks up the lute and he brings it over and he sits down and he looks at you. And he starts playing. It's a lullaby and a love song that you recognize.
Is it something I recognize from Dregma?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to relax in my chair and listen to it for a moment. But as I do, I'm going to look over to the little snaky creature and say, I hope we cross paths again. I know our friend here can't come to the waking life, but maybe I'll see you there sometime.
The snake comes over and just curls up on your chest.
Aww. I want to pet its jello surface a little bit as I listen to the music.
Yeah. And it vibrates like jello, or a little bit like a cat purring. Back in the room, Timothy, you see as Narash's mouth just sort of opens a little bit, and this weird melody that you've never heard before just sort of emits from it. He's singing in his sleep, and the flakes around his eyes, the peeling, the shedding skin is getting a little bit further away from his eyes. There's more something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
I'll keep one eye. I would like to test one eye area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
you
some
want
water.
to flash a light in it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's non-responsive.
Jots down some notes. I'll like poke his foot and see if or do some reflex checks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. His reflexes seem functional. Roll an investigation check for me.
14.
I will give you an answer to one question that you can ask about Narash. In this state.
Is he in danger?
I will say this. He seems at peace and happy. I think the biggest danger would be addiction. Yeah, right now he seems fine. The shedding is the most concerning thing, but it doesn't seem like it's causing him pain. And looking at it closely, the skin underneath is... the scales underneath are fresh and clean. So...
Okay. While he is asleep, I'm going to take the rest of his supply and put it in my bag.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, with that, no mustache or anything on his face. Okay, just checking. Just checking. He's asleep. He's out. And with that, we're gonna cut and check on our other scene. Nova, you have been grabbed and pulled. Oh, sorry, not you. Celexa, you have been grabbed and pulled into an alley. A heavy white claw is over your mouth, and someone says, I do not like illusions. Who are you? The claw moves. Don't scream.
If you don't like illusions, you don't have to look. I'm not here for you.
Well, you certainly have a mind in you. That's more than I can say for some. Where are you headed?
Why should I trust you?
This is not a matter of trust. I literally have a knife on the back of your neck. I could kill you in a second if I so desired. This is more a matter of I am forcing you to tell me. Politely, I admit. I can see the confusion.
I've been in worse places. I'll tell you this. I'm new in town. I'm looking for friends.
And what do you look for in a friend?
What do I look for in a friend? Sorry, I'm looking something up really quick.
Sure, feel free.
There was something that was another day. What was the thing that the sign that that Wretched told her to look for?
The red sign with a gold leaf.
Right. Yeah. So I look for red signs and gold leaves.
Marco? You're friends with Marco?
We have a mutual acquaintance. I'm
Well-
supposed to meet him.
Well, then threatening you is highly inappropriate. Pardon me. And you feel cold steel removed from your neck, and he lets go of you.
I would like to turn around and look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see a tall, white dragonborn, but wearing a hood covering most of him. The snout pops out quite dramatically. Dragonborn are relatively rare, but you know, none. But you've probably you certainly have seen some before because of your everything about you. He's pretty covered. It's a blue cloak, and he quickly hides a dagger back in his inside of it, and it disappears. So it's a little bit nondescript.
Are illusions so rare in this town that you have time to threaten everybody who uses them?
I apologize, madam.
No, it's an honest question. Is that something that doesn't come up here very often?
No, it's more an escalation recently. There's been some events that are going on, and people are wandering around with their minds blank. And because of that, I am investigating. And people with blank minds, I saw an illusion. I thought perchance there was someone trying to hide something.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
No problem.
Did you say your name?
I did not.
I'm Celexa.
Are you? My name is Cat's Grace.
All right. Well, nice to meet you. Kind of.
I apologize for threatening your life.
Yeah, you apologized already. It's fine. You know, we're over it. Whatever. Like I said, I've been in worse places.
Would you like company as you make it to Marco's?
Yeah. You lead the way.
Sure. You see the snout sort of smile beneath the hood, and he just starts walking.
Okay. I'm going to pull up my own hood and follow.
Would you like to take my arm? You look like you're a little bit under the weather. I'm happy to support you.
Yeah, sure. I could use some help.
And he starts guiding you guys away. Thea, Nova, you saw Celexa try and sneak away. You saw Celexa get grabbed into the alley. And now you see Celexa walking down the street arm in arm with someone wearing a blue cloak.
What? Who dat?
You think Celexa has a secret lover?
does have a lot of secrets going on, seems like.
This is getting juicier by the moment.
I think we should keep following.
I agree.
This is like that moment in like many of the Shakespearean comedies and some of the tragedies too, for that matter, where like we're like, oh my god, this story is getting good. Let's keep following and watching. So Marco escorts you through the town. He pauses for a second and turns to a shop and purchases a warm beverage of some sort, and he hands it to you.
Yeah, I'll take it. I will say, I think being in a new town, I am feeling kind of like on my guard, as as much as I'm able to be. Given
Yeah, of course.
The circumstances. Is there any chance I would notice that I was being followed?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, your passive perception is minus 4.5, or 4, in this case for my favor. But yeah, well, you can roll a perception check. Also, report numbers to me because I can't have Roll20 open on my computer while I'm running this game.
So that's an 11. So I think almost certainly not.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely. Although, if you want, we can roll.
No, I think I'm confident that. Well, I don't know. I guess there's a chance I might notice Nova.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Nova, can you roll a stealth check?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think I'm kind of like seeing double at this point.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
He hands you the drink.
Yeah, I'm going to taste it. What does it taste like? Is it familiar?
It is a warm, spiced drink. It's you know what it's called a rock, but it's a little bit like bitter hot apple cider.
Interesting.
And as you're walking, he sort of makes casual conversation, it seems, and he says, "So, did you come to Mesu-Ne-Corr alone?"
No, I came with friends. But they're
2 friends or more?
They're resting. More, a few. Yeah, it's it's hard. It's hard to make it through this world alone with everything that's going on.
One of them, dark-skinned human with curly hair going up, sort of, and the other one, I don't know, hard to see from here. They might be following you.
I highly doubt that.
Okay.
But that does sound like them.
How out of it are you? Can you run? Because we're being followed. I'd prefer not to lead anyone to Marcos if we can help it.
I tell you what. If you the next time we pass an alley, I'll disappear, and wait, hold on a second. Actually, got an idea. Yeah. Let's go this way. Let's go into this alley here.
Yeah, and he ducks with you into the alley.
And I'm gonna have to use my last 2nd level spell and cast invisibility on myself. And say let's give me directions on where to go, and I'll meet you there.
No need. And he just taps himself on the chest and turns invisible as well.
Oh.
And then he holds out his arm to you, invisibly.
Right. I sort of like feel for it. I don't understand what's going on at first. I just don't notice.
Yeah.
And I imagine he probably like jostles me for a moment.
Yeah. I think he just puts his hand like on your shoulder and pulls you in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Lead the way.
Keeps walking. Illusion magics. Make my nose itch.
I was trying to avoid spending more than I. Never mind. I'm just tired.
Of course. Is that why you're going to see Marco? Normally, he's not really that sort of person, but...
I don't know anyone else here. I mean, besides my friends, of course.
Of course.
I don't know if they'll stay for long.
I see. Well, here we are, and he gestures, and there's a sign with a red sign and a gold leaf on it.
Thank you. Is there anything I should know about Marco before?
I thought you said you knew him.
Oh, no, I said we have a mutual acquaintance.
That's right. I wasn't listening well enough. Old age in the ears, you know. Anything you should know about him? I don't know. He's a nice guy. I like him. Good fella. Wants what's best for people. He's a spy, but I'm guessing that's how you know him.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, there you go.
He'll know how to get in touch with you if I need to another time.
Yeah, I'm doing some work for him right now. It's not going very well. That's why I ambushed you. Sorry about that again.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your help.
Sure.
Have a good night. And Selexa's going to go and knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. What?
Hi, sorry, I know it's late. A friend sent me.
Come in.
Okay, I'll open the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you open the door, and it appears to be a furniture shop. Everything about it, there's chairs, there's desks, there's tables, there's all sorts of things that are bookshelves, furniture, basically. Ottomans, little stands for whatever. And this man comes out, goblin, and just sort of looks at you exasperated. And he says, "Ah, shit, are you another one? Do you have another one?"
But can you see me?
No.
Okay.
He can't.
So I think Celexa kind of probably I think she forgets at first that she's invisible, and she's just like, "Oh, hey, are you Marco? Am I in the right place?"
Oh shit! There's someone here. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Hi, hello.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, and I'll drop the invisibility.
Okay, there's a tiefling in my place of establishment. Hi, what's going on?
I'm gonna close the door behind me.
Is that cat leaving?
Yeah, he said he knew you.
Yeah, he better not show his face around here until he has some progress to report.
He told me it's not going well.
That's the world for you. Okay, what's up? Who are you? You looking to buy a chair? It seems unlikely.
No,
Couch then.
I think you might be expecting me.
Oh, you're the professor's friend.
Yeah, I thought you might know her.
Yeah.
I said to look for you.
Yeah, the professor says nice things about you.
Really? Well, okay. I mean, but not like that nice, right? Like, I'm sure it was just kind of an offhand.
It was like 2 1/3 offhand comments, which like, and one of them was honestly an insult, but the way she said it was affectionate, and so like, and considering the way she talks about me, like that was like, I don't know, I interpreted that as being relatively high praise coming from. So yeah, your Slixa, sorry, thank you.
Slixa. No, it's fine.
And you're cursed.
I mean, I'm not great.
No, come sit down.
Okay. I'm gonna like collapse on a bench or in a chair or whatever. I mean, I'm assuming
there's furniture all over.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
there's many choices.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices. Yeah, and he
if there's like a sofa or like a chaise or something.
Yeah, of course. Dramatically fall about it. Yeah, and he goes and he picks up a candle, and he walks over to you, and like he just starts waving it in your face.
Oh, really? I mean, I can see fine.
Starts peering at you. How's your face feel? Like, is it super sensitive? And then he just slaps you in the face lightly.
Oh God, what? It feels like a face. What does your face feel like?
Yeah. Did you get any wounds recently? Anyone stab you with a claw?
I mean, yeah, doesn't that happen to everybody?
You know, that's what I used to say, but then I realized that most people are frigging commoners, and so, like, you know, no is the answer. It doesn't happen to everyone. Okay, where were you stabbed?
I think, I feel like, I feel like it was like, on her side, like the claw just like dug in on her side. So she's going to like pull her cloak and tunic back a little bit and like kind of like show where the wound is.
He looks at it and he says, "Yeah, I'm gonna need something. I need to go to the back room. You wait here. Oh, do you want to see this? Or do you want to, like, are you the type of person who likes to know everything about how they're injured, or do you want to, like, live in ignorance?"
Show me.
Okay. You wait here. Don't move. That looks annoying. And I bet it hurts to walk. And I bet you're a little tired now, too. I'm going to be back with some paste. It's going to sting on your eyes a little bit, but we're going to put it just, like, on your eyelids, and then we're going to look at this. It'll take me about 5 minutes. And he heads to the back room.
Wait, I called.
Yeah.
Marco.
Yeah.
I can trust you, right?
Yeah. The professor is, I work directly for her.
Right. Okay.
I'm her rep here. So as long as you're aligned with, you know, her and the Accord, then...
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Insight check.
Yeah, please.
That is a 7.
Yeah. He is very serious about that, but there's also something he really doesn't want to show you in the back room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not surprising.
Yeah. So he heads to the back, and he, like, looks back at you and says, I don't know that it's going to be okay. I don't know anything about that, but I do know that we'll be able to figure out what the problem is and be able to solve it. Give me just 1 second. And he opens the door, and he walks in quickly and, like, sideways. He doesn't open the door all the way. He just opens it a little bit and then slams it shut. Meanwhile, out on the street... So, if I may ask, why are you following Celexa? This is a voice from right behind the two of you.
What? I
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Magical weaponry is not called for in this moment. I am merely asking a question. And you see
Where are you?
the same figure. No, he's revealed.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not invisible anymore. And he's holding his hands up. Or his claws. White claws.
Well, we gotta ask, how do you know Celexa?
Oh, well, we have a long friendship. We met all of 27 minutes ago in an alleyway when I threatened her life, and she handled it with such grace and aplomb that I think she may have stolen my heart, and now I am smitten with her.
That's what I thought.
Is it? Is that exactly what you thought? Have you a name?
Yeah. Oh. What's your name?
Cat's Grace.
Oh. Is that your real name?
Yes, my mother gave it to me.
I'm Nova, every time I hear.
Is that your real name?
Yes, my mother gave it to me.
I'm sure she was a lovely woman. It's a beautiful name. I'm kind of I'm a fan of it already. Shakes your hand. His claw is big. He's like 6'5", 6'6". And you?
I'm Thea.
Thea.
I'm not sure if we should be a fan of you.
Oh, sure, yeah, I wouldn't expect you to inherently be a fan of me. We have just met. It's very rare that I am a fan of anyone that I've just met. It happens, though, every once in a while.
And we did just see you threaten our friend
Sure, true.
and then walk away with her.
Yeah, where did you take her?
Where she wanted to go.
Where's that?
She wanted to see a mutual friend of ours.
She doesn't have any friends here. Wait, does she have any friends here? Heard.
She hasn't said.
Alexa, she would have friends here.
So, what brings you to this fine city?
You know, traveling, seeing the world, guess.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't seem the type.
Travel?
Seeing the world as a motivation. That is a, You do not deck yourselves out like tourists.
There are ways to see the world.
That is very and profoundly true. I just am curious which way you are going about doing it.
You know, we go about it by sometimes getting in little scuffles here and there.
So you're adventurers.
I guess, yeah, you can call us that.
Perfect. That's great. I'm very glad to hear that you're adventurers, because I find myself in need of some potential adventurers. Am I...
But why?
Why? Well, because there is some sort of evil afoot, and it strikes me as possible that adventurers might be the sort of thing that could solve the problem of said evil.
What kind of evil are we talking about?
Yes, I don't fully understand and or know, but several citizens and travelers of Mesu-Ne-Corr have found themselves in, shall we say, precarious mental situations, ones that are not of their own making, at least. I would presume it is not of their own making, considering that the mental situations are relatively common, and or at least have certain commonalities, and that is very uncommon for mental situations that occur naturally.
What are you describing?
People are going crazy.
Oh, okay. Alright. Huh. That means there's evil afoot?
When enough people are going crazy in the similar way. Yes.
Well, we were just in one place where there was a plague. Something like that.
Perhaps, although... Well, I'm looking into it a little bit. Why don't I tell you a little bit about my research back at your abode? I could bring some food and some lovely drink. Here, have you had this? And he grabs something from a street vendor and hands each of you a cup. This is our local delicacy, and this is Pavel. And Pavel makes the absolute best arak that you've ever had. Please, try.
I'd like to insight him.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
I don't know. I think everyone's trying to poison people.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
That's a nat one.
That's a nat one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Also,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Someone's offering you food. I'm going to allow you to insight check.
And 18.
18? Yeah, he's definitely trying to get you guys away from Celexa and to distract you with other things, but he has no ill intention. It's, in fact, I think in a weird way you see this as him being like a little bit protective of her. Which is a little weird, but, you know.
I look at Nova and I drink the drink.
It is quite delicious. It's the same drink. It's quite delicious, though. Also, I will add, Nova, you've certainly had arak before. It's a Prian delicacy. Delicacy's the wrong word. It's a Prian drink. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very tasty. This is one of the best ones you've ever had. So, you know, yeah, quite good.
Pretty good.
So, shall we go back to your place and I can tell you about my research a little bit, or perhaps we could find an outdoor place to sit and chat, enjoy some of this evening air.
I think we better find our friend.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be along in a minute. She had some business to attend to.
He wasn't feeling very well, though. I think we should check in on her.
I am glad that you feel this way, and it shows good sign of your character that you are concerned about your friend. But I imagine that she will be able to be fine.
You seem very sure.
Yes. I'm quite self-assured. Many people tell me so. Sometimes they call me egotistical or self-centered, but then they realize that it is all well-earned and justly deserved.
Huh. Yeah.
What?
We should find Celexa, right?
Yeah, but we both saw her turn invisible. I don't know where she is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I turned to Cat's guy.
Cat's grace. Cat.
Cat's great. Alright. Seems like you don't want to tell us where she is.
More than that, I won't.
What if we sit down somewhere near where she is so she can find us easily?
Do you think that she would have trouble finding you if she wanted to?
She's been pretty tired lately.
Yes, and so she had trouble ditching you.
Hey, she's got magic. It's not fair.
I'm just saying that if she wants to find you, I'm certain she will be able to find you. Please, take a seat.
take a seat.
He sits down with you. Smash cut back to Celexa for just a minute. Marco comes out maybe 6 or 7 minutes later. He's got like a bowl and a mortar and pestle, and he's rubbing it around. And he just walks towards you and pulls the pestle out and sticks a finger in and rubs it on his right eye, and then rubs it on his left eye, and then offers it to you. It's his eyelid.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
And then he says, "Are you ready to look?"
Yeah, for sure. You don't mind if I talk, do you?
Not at all. And he reaches to your tunic and sort of gestures for you to pull it back. He doesn't want to really touch you.
Yeah. I'll show him the place.
And you look at your wound, and last time it was a wound that was healing. But this time, as you look at it, you cannot help but see the very obvious image of a tiger that is purple, mottled, and twisted, running around in circles underneath your flesh.
Do you see that?
I wouldn't be a very good witch if I couldn't see that.
Yeah, I don't love that.
No, you've been cursed by some sort of tiger demon.
I have reason to think that he might be following us, might be following me, tracking me. We don't always make friends.
Sure, yeah, that's
We don't always make friends.
occupational hazard.
Specifically, we don't always make friends. We didn't make great friends in Ray C. And there may or may not be, some legions of Chelestran soldiers trying to find us with the help of what did Professor call it? A Rakshasa.
Well, we'll just have to see if we can do something about that. And this little goblin smiles. And I think that is where we will take our pause.
Okay.
Back in 10? Oh, that's me. Sorry. I'm not used to that being me. Okay. fix audio. I think that worked. Whatever. We think that worked. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. We have returned. I'm going to fix these things again. As always, I like to take a moment here at the top of the second hour to encourage you, yes, you, to look at your life and look at the world around you and see if you think there's any way that you might be able to alleviate some suffering and or help someone within the world. Right now, for whatever reason, I am seeing a lot of things about sexism in the gaming community in particular, so a lot of my energy and effort is going towards supporting female content creators in gaming specifically. I've just been seeing a lot of content about that lately, and it's making me down, because women are awesome, so fuck you if you don't think that. And go live good. Yeah, and so look at what you can do in your life. I don't know what your life is like. I don't know anything about your life, but there's probably something in your life, some way in your life that you could spend some time, some energy, some cash, I don't know, to help others. And that is a purely good thing. So just do that. Find a way to help someone if you can. As always, I also like to take a moment here to point out that we've got other shows on this channel, and if this show is poorly produced, the other shows won't be, because this is me producing it as opposed to our regular producer. But the other shows we got shows Thursdays, 2 shows on Thursdays. Thursday mornings, we've got our old school dungeon crawl. The Chosen, no, this is the Chosen Few. The Hidden Tomb, Lost Tomb, whatever, of Akarut, where we crawl through dungeons and uncover secrets about the ancient world and how that might affect things now. Also, Undead. And the releasing of undead problems upon the world, because that's a thing that is happening right now as well. So, woot woot. Check out that game. Also, on Thursday evenings, we've got the assassination of Primarch Magli Black Ice. For those of you that don't know, Primarch Magli Black Ice is a fascist dictator who runs a country, and it kind of sucks. And so we are working on getting rid of him and his whole support system. He's the worst. He is, I think, my most universally hated villain, although I think not too long from now that will change, because Hubert Songshore is pretty hated too. And I only think our hatred of him is going to grow. And all that good stuff. So, all sorts of horrible, horrible things. Anyway. Yeah, plus Narash got to meet Samo. That's Narash's first time meeting Samo. Sorry. For those of you following the major meta plot and curious about, what Samo is and who Samo is and what Samo is about, that's always fun to question about. It's the question I get most often. People ask me about my Samo lore. If only they were in game and could ask.
Speaking of, another thing that was been on my mind is we haven't, speaking of the Primarch, we don't really know all that's happened with, cursing him and, what the outcome of that has been. And if Oceana is... what's she doing? Yeah, there's a lot that I know is in the back of Selex's mind.
Oh yeah, lots of good stuff to find out. Lots of fun stories to deal with, and all sorts of good things like that. All sorts of fun stuff. Oh, Oceana, you crazy, crazy pirate. You are awesome and very, very cool. And I hope you use your mind control powers for good. Okay. Well, I've got everyone in the wrong order again, so let me fix that. Bam. That fixed that. Did that fix that entirely? Wow, that was easy. I fixed that entirely in one fell swoop. Wow, that is so much easier. I should just do it that way all the time. Oh no, better idea. Marcus. Okay. Back to it. So, I think that I'm going to start here with Nova and Thea and Cat's Grace. So Cat's Grace sits you at the table and says, so you guys do some violence for people sometimes if you think that it's morally the correct thing to do? And yeah, and are you ever paid for performing these acts of morally correct violence?
Yes, of course we are.
I'm just checking. Some people are offended at the idea. I met a paladin the other day who was all offended that I would offer coin in exchange for, doing something. But that's not your whole thing.
Coin makes the world go round, or whatever.
I've heard it said. I wouldn't say that I necessarily agree, but I've heard it said. And it seems like a perfectly reasonable assumption to me. So if we had a problem here in this community, and we could use some people helping out, and that sort of thing would appeal to you, potentially. Being helpful.
Being helpful is a draw. Sure.
And is this is you two and Selexa? Is that your whole group, or are there more of you?
We have more.
Well, how skilled are you? What sort of things have you done?
That's a big question. What was that big lightning thing we took on the arena? That was fun.
A big lightning thing. That sounds impressive. How did you deal with it?
We killed it.
Excellent. I assume that was justified. Big lightning thing and all.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And I have to ask, because this is a new area for me, and it's admittedly tripping me up a little bit myself. How familiar are you with things that are, like, bizarre and strange? Have you had to deal with, like, bizarre, strange things that make people lose their minds or anything like that? Do you have mental protections, mental fortitudes?
Mental protections. Definitely dealt with some mental changes, but
some brain-related creatures we have encountered.
Intriguing. Excellent. Well, that gives some potential here, I think, to us potentially working out together. I'm doing some research into a problem right now, and I've been having some problems with it. But I am trying to help, fundamentally. It is my goal to help people, fundamentally. And I could have used some more assistance in my goal to help people. I could use help to help me, if that made sense to you.
Yeah.
I'd prefer not to explain it, like, 1,000 times over and over again. So perhaps we could meet tomorrow for breakfast. I could meet with your whole crew. You look like you could use a long rest after all this travel that you've been doing. Or at least Alexa does.
we have been traveling for a while.
Of course. Of course. Where are you staying?
Where are we staying?
I know where we're staying, but
Oh, you don't wish to tell me. You don't trust me yet. Of course.
Right.
No harm. No foul. I'm not pushing that you should inherently just trust me. Of course, despite the fact that I am a deeply trustworthy and charming individual.
So you've said.
And I have been charming. You have to admit, there's been a certain eloquence to my language and words that is, on some degree, at least a little bit, intriguing, if not charming.
Oh, sure.
I mean, how many people have you met who are as well spoken as I?
You.
Not, of course, that I am implying anything about being well-spoken. I have seen many a person who is well-spoken who is actually as charming as a snake. Not to say anything disparaging upon my slithering friends. Anyway, breakfast. Let's see. There's a place called Ilal. It's points, gives directions. 6 blocks that way, 2 blocks that way. Look for the sign that says Ilal. It says it in both Prion and Chalestrin, and underneath it in Formal 20. But great spiced biscuits. Meet me for brunch there, say 9:30.
Sounds like a deal.
Good. I do promise financial rewards if you are of assistance to me in this as well.
All right.
I'm going to be bringing someone with me. She is a witness. And just, I'm going to ask you to be nice to her.
Yeah, we're nice. Yep.
I haven't yet
Yeah.
seen much evidence of that, but I believe you.
It'll be nice if there's reason to be nice.
Of course. Well, a pleasure meeting you both. And he stands up, and he bows, and he pays the tab, and he leaves.
Well, I guess we have a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah. We head back to our hotel and
Mhm.
see what they're up to.
Absolutely. Okay. Slexa. Said it just as you were to go off screen. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was just shifting my chair.
Okay, fair enough. Excellent. So you see this horrifying image of this tiger running circles inside the side of your gut.
Um, the professor, she said something about a library.
Up in Uxayatl, yeah, the capital.
She said if there was information on how to get rid of this, that she thought it would be there.
Yeah, not to disagree with the professor, but listen, I don't know where you're coming from, but is it possible to get you back to Racy? Is that where you're coming from?
That is where I'm coming from.
So you're fleeing there.
I mean, I did mention that we didn't leave. Well, honestly we left some friends, but also more to the point, we left with the enmity of the
Right. Working for the
of
professor.
Primarch and
Yeah.
his allies.
Um,
Otherwise, I would have gone straight back to see my friend Masha.
that's who I was going to recommend. She's the best curse-breaking witch I know.
But that would involve, I guess, breaking back into a place where I'm sure they would like to see us dead, and they have tried.
Yeah. The library at Uxayatl it's a good bet. It's a good bet. I'm worried you're not going to make it though. There is. Oh my god! I can't believe I'm even recommending this. Okay, I see 3 options. Option 1, return to Racy, ask Masha for help. That's the one that I know will work. Option 2, we try to figure out how to get as fast transport as we can to Uxayatl. Maybe we bribe a wyvern rider to fly you there or something. I don't know. But
We
even
still had our airship.
that would have been convenient, yes. But even with that, I'm not certain it's gonna be fast enough. The fastest travel I've seen to Uxayatl is like 4 or 5 days, even by wyvern. third option, and I want to be very clear. I cannot believe I'm even suggesting this. There's been this problem in the city. It's been escalating slowly for the past...
Does it have anything to do with what Cat's Grace was talking about? Right?
Yeah, he's working on it for me. He's trying to find the source of it. But there's something here that is corrupting people's dreams. It's forcing them to sleep and then poisoning their dreams. They become obsessed with color, with a color that can't be painted, with a color they've never seen. But it's... I mean, I'm trying to help them. But, I don't really know what the source of this thing is. But they sleep a lot. And they sleep well. I don't know that it's strong enough to beat the Rakshasa curse back. But it almost certainly could buy you time. Or maybe it... whatever is causing this might have some ability to do something. I don't know if you know anyone who can, like, mix potions. I mean, I know a little bit. I'm not super experimental, though. I'm more level 3-4 shit, you know?
Okay. Weren't you just saying that you don't know what's causing this?
Yeah, well, Kat's looking into it. But it's causing people to go this way, and it's happening more and more. I've got maybe 20 victims, and Kat's got maybe 10 more. And that can't be the only ones here. So it's going around, and, you know, it's a thing.
So as of right now, I wouldn't even know how to take on this affliction if I tried. But we might learn more, is what I'm hearing from you.
Well, Kat's looking into it. And Kat's really good. And it wouldn't surprise me if he knows some things more than I do. He's the one doing the actual research. I'm working on the cure. He's working on the cause.
Tell me more about Kat.
I mean, he's a blowhard. But he's a really good dude. He doesn't have a lot of patience for people taking advantage of people. He's a big believer in, like, helping people. He's not one of the professors. He's a local contact of mine. But the only reason he's not one of the professors is because he doesn't trust the Grand Accord. He doesn't trust anything that has that much centralized power. Even though the Grand Accord doesn't have that much power in some ways. But you know what I mean. You know, he just doesn't trust it. He wants to not swear to an ideal so that he can make sure to uphold it.
He told me that that you would know where to find him.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I almost said I would sleep on it. And then I realized that's part of the problem. I think I should go talk to my other friends. I think that I was really hoping that you would have more.
I was hoping I'd have more too. I might have something that can... I have some energy increasing things. It'll stave off some problems, but it's not gonna solve things permanently. You know, I've got... I've got things that can give you like a pep, but not something that's going to solve the. I can decrease the effects of the lack of sleep, but the underlying cause is still going to be there. You know.
I might need that help if the destination ends up being Uxatal.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna start arranging for that as fast as possible for you. I'll get a couple of wyverns. Mm-hmm.
If I talk to my friends, how much can they know about you?
Do you trust them?
As much as I trust anybody.
Tell him that I work for the Grand Accord. They don't need to know about other things, and I've got a legitimate furniture business here. It's a real business. You're sitting in a chair that I made, or on a chaise lounge that I made.
This is a really nice sofa.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I believe in the Accord.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to them. Can you set up something with Kat tomorrow?
Sure. Yeah.
Great. If one of you doesn't find us first, I'll find you here.
Yeah. I'll Where are you staying?
At this place
Mm-hmm.
called whatever it's called.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'll have a runner there in the morning. I'll talk to Kat tonight, and we'll set up a time. Okay.
And Rose's stable.
That's I know the place. Sort of off the beaten path, but cozy.
Okay. Keep an eye. I mean, I know you've already got a lot on your plate right now. But we could see soldiers from Ray C showing up at any time.
I run a perfectly legitimate business. There's nothing they can do to me.
For sure. Well, I wouldn't want you to get into trouble for dealing with the riffraff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they come, stop by here. We've got a magical room that blocks all divination magics and perceptions and all sorts of things to protect people who are on the run. Okay.
That's good to know. That might become pertinent at some point.
Yeah, here to help.
Okay. Thanks, Marco. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, Alexa. Feel better. He sort of like his little goblin face like furrows his brow and then frowns for a second and then like, oh well, I want you to feel better, but I know you're not going to. As that sort of vibe.
So yeah, and Celexa will she'll take on one of her human disguises.
Mm-hmm.
Nondescript,
mm-hmm.
black cloak pulled over her head. It's late at night.
Yeah.
Ish too, right?
Yeah.
And she will walk slowly back to the stable.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we're going to cut to the next morning when everyone wakes up, if that's all right. We cut to the next morning. Everyone wakes up. Some of you got a long rest. First things first, Narash. Oh, well, no, sorry. Timothy, go for it.
How are you feeling? Got a long night there.
Did you untie me? Am I untied?
Eventually.
No.
So I'm not untied right now?
You're still tied up.
Still tied up.
And I was like, I had a surprisingly calming dream, and I met this roly-poly fellow who had a lot of information, and yeah, lived on a house at the top of a hill, and I had a little snaky friend that was made of this jello substance. Um, oh, anyway, we need Earth's blood.
Why do we need Earth's blood?
Because I think it can help with a lot of things, but primarily maybe with Selex's problem. Oh, P.S. Could you untie me?
Yes. Answer a few questions for me first. Are you healing yourself?
Yeah, I know I asked you to tie me up and everything, but you know how I feel about being restrained.
Which is why you should answer the questions quickly. Are you feeling like yourself?
Well, now I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, but yes, no, I feel okay. Yeah, I feel
Good.
rested.
Good.
My eyes feel a little weird.
Yeah. You might need to find some aloe or something. But... Anyway, let's see. Do you have any desire to do ill will against anyone in our party?
No, of course not. But where's the citrine algae, by the way?
Yeah. And next question. Is there anyone who seemingly mind controlled you in your sleep, or do you feel like you are not 100% in control of your actions?
I'm my own lizard, absolutely. Yeah, no, I was wondering about that too, which is why I asked you to tie me up, which is why it's really okay to let me go now, and give me the citrine algae back.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go ahead and untie you.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Getting a little worried there. Okay. And
shall we go downstairs and see how everyone else fared?
Yeah, I just want to check in again, just for a second about the citrine algae. You have it?
Yes, I hear you. Yes, I am holding on to it for now.
Well, I thought I could hold on to it since it's from my planet and everything.
Well, sure, yeah, I see why you would think that. But and no offense, like this is not a judgment call whatsoever per se. But I've known you for a few days now, and I've seen you take this substance more than one hand's worth of times. So I feel like maybe we'll just give it a rest, and I'll hold on to it for now.
I'm not really sure what you're suggesting. In my youth, I took it all the time, and I could stop anytime I wanted to.
I'm sure you could.
Okay. Well, answer me this. Do we have Earth's blood in our possession in the party?
Oh, do we? Let's go talk to Nova.
Okay, well, let's come back to the subject in a few, very soon.
Sure, yeah, we can circle back.
Okay.
Narash, your eyes are itchy.
And so, I'm rubbing my eyes and I'm, seeing my scales peeling. I'm like, oh, man. Do you have any mud? Never mind. You don't have mud. That's kind of a dumb question. I mean, I know that much.
Let's go. Let's go I'll go run you a bath, maybe. And I'll go talk to Nova about the Earth's blood.
Okay, that would be great. And I have some news about Illumina Starborn. I'll share it with everyone.
Great.
Okay, yeah. So Narash, I'm gonna focus on you for just a second here. So you hop in the bath, and your eyes are like around them. You feel like that itchiness, and you keep scratching, and it keeps on peeling off. And you get a grip, and a whole long strip of it peels off in the bath. And underneath it, it's just scales. You're just shedding, but
Yeah, no, I've molted before.
yeah, you've molted before.
So I'm not super alarmed, but it's a little disturbing that it happened right after
Yeah.
the citrine algae. So I'm concerned about that.
Yeah. It's definitely not the season for it, as it were. Too. It's a little premature.
I want to sit up in my bath and sort of like look down into the bathwater and look at my reflection to see if I see anything strange about my scales.
They seem very shiny, and like exactly what you would hope. It's the nicest sheen after a molt. It's maybe the nicer sheen that you've ever had. Little like flecks of like dark purples are inside the scales, which you're not used to.
And I want to observe the scales that are coming off and see if there's anything different about them or if they just look like my usual scale shedding.
Yeah. Do they get wet at all? Do you think in the bath?
Yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah. They're a little like spongy. Like you're used to it being crunchy, but like they kind of sponge, and they kind of like when you put like when they're next to each other, they sort of like glom onto each other a little bit.
I'm going to see if I can sort of form them into a little mass.
Absolutely, yeah. It forms into a little mass. The mass seems to have a mind of its own. It seems to form its own shape if it can.
I say, Snake, is that you?
It sort of lifts its head and looks at you and nods.
I'm delighted beyond words. Like I feel like I'm giving birth to like my little friend. And and I actually kind of like see if I can keep peeling my skin and like smushing them together.
Yeah, and after at the end of your bath, you have this little thing. It changes into like this deep purple color, and it looks kind of like a long, thick, slightly garden snake. That's just of this deep purple color, and it's a little bit of an ombre from purple to like a dark blue over the head of it. And its head is just a distinct little arrowhead shape. And again, no eyes, just sort of indents where the eyes are.
Yeah, I'm just like thunderstruck, and I start to like pet it like I did in the dream, and I say, "Can we talk?"
Looks at you and it kind of shrugs. You understand that like it doesn't have a mouth, but it can
I
communicate.
try to focus on it and see if we happen to have like some sort of telepathic connection.
You feel a response.
And I sort of just say, "What are you?"
Sort of looks at you and shrugs.
Well, anyway, you're my best friend now, and I'm going to take care of you. And I get out of the bath, and I kind of just like, first of all, as I'm holding him on my hand, it's like, since he kind of formed out of my substance, do I feel any special connection other than just emotional?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, I mean, you have a psychic connection with this thing, and as you say that, you're my best friend, and I'm going to take care of you. You don't hear it, but you feel the sentiment echoed exactly.
All right. Well, I don't know if I've just gained like some sort of powerful creature or just a little pet. It's very cute. But for the time being, I'm going to take a page from Celexa and kind of just, as I reassemble my little shiny green raincoat, I'm going to kind of just put him into my kind of into hiding on my body.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've already responded to Timothy about this, but as I like observe my own feeling, am I feeling like rested and normal?
Yep, long rested, very normal.
Cool. Yeah. In that case, for now, I will just rejoin the others.
Celexa, how are you feeling this morning?
pretty bad. I think, I mean, my guess is that dreams were the same, if not worse. I think that, you know, having seen that, like, the tiger, like, actually in my skin, that was probably something that was featured in my dreams as well last night.
Sure, yeah.
And that combined with the fact that, like, she had pinned a lot on getting here and meeting Marco and you know, hoping that he would have a plan or something like that, and it seems like it's looking pretty grim right now. So yeah, and I think she's kind of preparing herself to check in with the party and see what they think.
Beautiful. So I think the party, there's like a common room area that's for the couple of suites that your party has. So it's not open to everyone, but it's open to you guys. And I think we find you guys all there. All 5 of you. And also the 6th of you who's secretive and quiet. Stephanie. Stephanie's standing at the door with a spear.
Stephanie, a fine morning to you.
Good morning, Timothy.
Never get tired of you. You know, you're stalwart and true, you know?
Here to help.
Well, how was everyone's evening? Ours was different. Right, Narash?
Yes, I mean, I had a surprisingly good dream after taking the citrine algae, and boy, do I have a cool story to tell. You see, it starts out where I was just in this hilly landscape, and then I'm going to go on to sort of like narrate a rather long-winded, fantastical version of my experience, getting to meeting Samo, I'm going to say, and I met this kind of squat little wise creature. His name was Sammy, and he was very knowledgeable about a lot of things. He was kind of shaped like a barrel, kind of hard to tell where he was from, but yeah, he took me into his home, and he had this shiny black thing and played this instrument, this lute instrument, a great song from Dragma. Anyway, I digress. Sammy, he said, gave me an idea that might help Solexa, but to make it work, we need Earth's blood. Do we have any?
Did you say Samo?
Samo? Maybe it was Samo.
I mean, it sounds a lot like Samo. He looks short and squat and
Kind of gentle, wise fella, answers a lot of questions.
That can't be the same person. I mean, we haven't seen him since before the Kala. It can't be the same person.
You know what's weird is when I was tripping, I mean, when I had citrine algae, I also saw Samo for like a long time.
Well, that seems weird that you saw someone from my same dream, but citrine algae can be like that. It's really weird that you would have encountered this person in another circumstance outside of citrine algae. In any case, maybe we could get back to Earth's blood. Do we have it?
Wait, back up for a second. What? Yeah, no, why? That's what I want to know too. Why?
Why am I asking for Earth's blood?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you said you wanted to do this to help me, but what does it have to do with, what does the Earth blood have to do with me?
Well, you see, back on Dregma, before I had to do this whole like interstellar adventure deal, I really just spent my time in the swamps, kind of making, I guess what you could call kind of potions, but really kind of various medicines and remedies out of the natural resources of Dregma. And I haven't really been able to do that while I've been turning into pigeons and various other things on this planet. But I've been experimenting with a few medicinal plants that I found, and I asked this Samo person how I might be able to make a remedy, or at least a way to buy you some time. And so then I take out these little kind of capsules I've made from the plants I discovered earlier. I think if we add a drop or two of Earth's blood to this, it might help you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hold on. To play Lizard's advocate here, Earth's blood, from what I recall, can do literally anything. Like, it can amplify things, sure, or it can randomly mess things up. Right, Nova?
Yeah.
More to the point. I mean, not that anybody's ever accused me of being afraid of a good time, but how exactly is like taking this stuff and like going on a magical Citrine Algae Earthblood adventure, how is that supposed to help me?
Oh no, you misunderstand. And that's interesting you asked that, because that's point number 2. But no, I'm talking about this capsule, and like I'm holding it up, and it's just like full of green mulch. And this is just some medicinal plants that I picked up on our journey. And this is what we add Earth's blood to. But as you say, the thing about citrine algae, Samo in my dream said that what had been added to the citrine algae that had been given to the Rakshasa was Earth's blood, not or whatever it was, a mind control. Right.
Oh, I forgot there's more than one thing that's blue.
Oh.
That is a great sentence. I just need to compliment that sentence for 1 second and just sit in the joy of that sentence for 1 minute. Sorry, back to the game.
That's so... Wow, really, that's so surprising. She doesn't sound at all surprised.
Well, I thought that was a kind of cool revelation, but...
No, I mean, yeah, for sure, that's really important. I'm glad that you found that out.
On that note, I mean, I wouldn't normally advocate for this, but when you woke up, Narash, you said you were given a deep and peaceful sleep, right? Under the influence of the citrine algae?
Well, maybe this hasn't been clear, but I am Circle of Elia, and so we have special and unique response to the citrine algae that others do not.
Okay.
Hence Thea's sort of bad trip at the party. And hence not having the same response as the Rakshasa, I assume.
So I couldn't count on taking it and falling asleep.
I would definitely not advise that. But I have this little pill. First one's free.
Well, maybe we want to be sure about what this is going to do. And we do have this genie who said he has information. I think we should ask the genie what would happen if we add Earth's blood to this pill that you have.
Why the heck not?
Why not?
Let's ask Cheeto.
No, I really appreciate. I mean, obviously, you put a lot of thought into this. Yeah, because thanks for that. There's a couple of things that you should know.
Oh, really?
One is that yeah, I'm pretty sure that what's going on is a curse, and it's a curse from the Rakshasa, which apparently, if it claws you, it curses you, and I think that's what happened.
Did you find this out on your secret tryst last night?
Yeah, are you also gonna tell us you have a boyfriend now?
Okay, I mean, I know that you were following me.
And we know you tried to ditch us.
There's somebody who there's somebody who that I might want you to meet. And he works for the Grand Accord. And that's who I was going to find. That's who I was going to find last night. And I was hoping he could help. And I think the answer to that is only maybe kind of. And the choices that paths he suggested were to go back to Racy and find Masha Seasworn, or to go forward to Ixotal and try to find something there. But there's a big question mark over that, whether that would work or how long that would take. Apparently it's at least 4 or 5 days to get there, and I might not have that long. And then even once we get there, who knows? And then third, he said that there was something happening here in town that we might be able to leverage in a way that helps me. But that sounds really uncertain too. I guess it has the advantage that it's here. Anyways, yeah, I just, I wanted to come clean about that and let you guys know what was going on with me, and that, I'm hoping that maybe we can meet with him today, and maybe meet with the person who saw me with.
Yeah, your boyfriend said that we're all meeting for brunch.
Wait, what? When did you talk to him?
Oh,
you met Cat Screams?
Yeah, he bought us dinner. He's very charming, so he says.
I think I must be very tired.
You sure know how to pick him.
I must be very tired. You're having brunch with Cat Screams.
Well, we all are.
Oh, okay.
Well,
anyways, I wanted to let you know and see what you guys thought and what you wanted to do, because I think I'm gonna need your help with this.
Well, thank you for telling us. I put my hand on your shoulder. think with the other hand, I take the lamp out. Hey, Zito.
Yes?
All right. So, Zito, my blue friend.
Sure.
You said you had some. You could give us information, right?
That does fall within the purview of my usual types of requests that I answer.
Okay. What's the best way to relieve a curse from a Rakshasa?
You're killing the Rakshasa.
What if we already tried that?
No. Permanently killing the Rakshasa.
How does one permanently kill a Rakshasa?
You kill it, and then go to where it's teleported to, and then kill it again.
Just twice?
Well, the important thing is that you have to kill it in its home. When it dies, it sort of reconstitutes itself inside its home. Usually takes them about 2 days, 3 days to reconstitute themselves.
How long has it been? How long has it been since we killed the Rakshasa?
Yeah, well, if your speed was halved yesterday, then 4 days, right?
3 days? 4 days?
4 days, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, actually, what are you at right now? We should check that. Sorry, just for the record.
For exhaustion?
Yeah. Oh, hit point maximum halved. Yeah. Oh no, it's been 3 days. Yeah, it's been 3 days. Disadvantage on attack and saving throws now. Cool.
Zito,
Yes.
what happens to people if they die from a curse?
What do you mean?
I know they're dead. I know how death works.
I figured that you knew that. That's why I wasn't certain what you were asking. Because like,
Yeah, no, I'm very much aware. But does the curse persist?
You're asking if you could like bring someone back after they've died, whether they'd be cursed. Probably depends on the curse. In fact, I'm certain it depends upon the curse. Some curses persist after death. For example, being undead is a curse.
Well, Selexa, that is an option if things get. I'm sure it would not be without consequences.
Let's keep working on this, huh? Yeah, that's. Love the brainstorming. That's great. You're an inspiring scientist.
Mad scientist, perhaps?
I'm gonna jump in and say, look, Cheeto, I made this little pen, and it was supposed to be for a gift for a friend who seems a little reluctant to take it. Do you recognize the elements that are in this?
Sort of looks at it, tiny little genie self, sort of side eye. Some plants.
Do you recognize the properties of this?
No, I'm not really a specialist in herbology.
Ugh. Okay, well, thanks for nothing. No offense.
None taken.
Getting back to the Rakshasa. What can what is there to know about the Rakshasa's home? Like, where do they live? How could they be found?
Yes, inside of the hearts of trees in Sunera that have been hollowed out.
But only in Sunera.
True.
So if one died in Telestra, for example, it would reconstitute in Sunera.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, some of us.
Well, a while before it gets here, I mean.
Oh no, they have magic.
Oh. I forgot about magic.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Is there a way to track exactly where the home is?
Sure. Objects that are meant to be one object are sometimes split in two, and by splitting into something that's meant to be whole, if you put one part somewhere, the other part will always know where it is. So if you stick an object that is meant to be one thing, half of it, inside the Rakshasa, then when the Rakshasa dies, you will feel that pull towards the Rakshasa. Theoretically, someone of high enough magical power and skill could move you from where you are towards where the origin of the pull is.
So I'm going to jump in and say, okay, so we can do the bird thing again, but in my sort of magical research, I happen to have acquired a new skill that might help us move quickly. But do we really want to go off and fight this magical creature that was so difficult to defeat last time? Or do we want to go on to the city that might have the answer in the library?
Or we want to stay here and have brunch and then fight something evil.
We will get paid, according to him.
I mean, that's a nice thought, but of course the question is, I don't know if that makes it any more likely that we won't just be falling back on Timothy's plan in the long run. I believe I've already expressed my feelings about that plan.
It's not so much a plan as it is a Hail Mary.
Well, I mean, I guess, we may as well do brunch. But what about going back to Racy? If we know that Masha can help, that might. My contact said that he thought that was perhaps the surest bet. Not that I'm excited to go back there, but
Do they have dragonfly beignets? At brunch, I mean.
Only one way to find out.
okay.
We can go with that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna walk over to Celexa and say, you really helped me out in Racy, and I swear I'm trying to be your friend. I'm gonna give her the little capsule I made. If things get bad for you, add some Earth's blood to this. Give it a try. You could do worse.
Okay. Thanks.
So you guys head to brunch. The restaurant's called Ilal, and it's like spicy foods, but very like a little bit like a soul food restaurant in some ways. Is definitely the vibe. And in the back, there's a patio, and the patio, there's a large table set out, settings for 7. And you see that there's a woman there. She's kind of like playing with the hem of her skirt. And Cat's Grace is sort of very carefully like watching her. But sees you guys come in and stands up and gregariously says, I'm glad you came. Please, come on in. Welcome. I've taken the liberty of arranging for some food to come. Of course, if there's anything you want, it's on me. I haven't met you all. Hi, I'm Cat's Grace. And he smiled.
Hi, I'm Timothy. You seem quite charming.
Oh, well, yes, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. You seem quite intelligent.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And perceptive. Very attentive to details. Please, take a seat. Make yourself comfortable. Celexa, you look so pale, my dear. How are you faring today?
Never been better.
mutual friend not able to...
No, he was I think quite helpful. Yeah. But we're still figuring that out. One step at a time, sort of thing. My friends said that they had dinner with you last night.
Yes, I bumped into them. I wanted to make sure that they didn't follow you all the way to our mutual acquaintances, if you know what I mean. And, speaking with them, it turns out that you guys are, well, it sounds like you're quite the adventurers dealing with the lightning monster and all. That's quite impressive, among other things. It seems that you guys have some skill under your belt. So I wanted to talk to you about a problem that we're having, and potentially hire you to help me hopefully solve it. This is Teresa. Teresa doesn't seem to acknowledge anyone. She's sort of doing something that's partially under the table, focusing downward. Teresa's been having dreams. Dreams of a color that doesn't exist. I don't fully know what this all means, but several people have started having these dreams, and they become obsessed with the color, trying to paint it, trying to create it. At first, it manifests as like a burst of almost creativity. I saw someone try and write a play about it, but most of them stick to art. And it is fine for a while. Just seems like a burst of creativity. But gradually they become so obsessed with reproducing this color that, they start to lose control of themselves. Violently attacking people who pause them in their work. Doing things to create this color that hurt themselves. Painting with brushes until their brushes break, and then instead of getting new brushes, painting with their hands until they run their flesh dry and hurt themselves. It's quite horrific, and it's been escalating, and no one seems to know what to do about it. And I thought that might be something that you might be able to help with. Sorry to spring this on you. He sort of...
A medical doctor, or like
Yes, of course. And the doctor that they were brought to shortly after, he told me that he was going on a trip. And when he returned, he was in quite the same state. Obsessively. He didn't really return. I went and found him. And he was painting on the side of a rock, trying to find this color.
So it's contagious.
It doesn't seem to be contagious. I've been in contact with many of these people, as have several of my friends who are working on this with me. It seems to originate from somewhere, but I haven't been able to locate where. Or it may be contagious, but it seems to be contagious from the source, not from each other. For instance, I've been, with Teresa here for the past several weeks, more or less, since I discovered her.
Where are people being contained who have this affliction, or are they simply at their homes?
Those of us that I have been able to find, I and a couple of my friends are keeping contained, so that they don't hurt themselves or each other. We've had to restrain a couple, unfortunately. It's a little bit gruesome.
Do they live in the same neighborhood?
No, some are travelers, some are locals.
So what's the benefit to us for helping you? Because we have some urgent business of our own.
Pardon me. I didn't mean to step on your urgent business. Of course, I thought that you were people who are here to help. Gold was what I was going to offer, but...
You might remember, yes, I told you yesterday that we have some, there may be some people looking for us here before too long.
Ah, yes, of course.
If we're going to stay, can you help, I guess, keep an eye out?
Oh, but of
and
course, and apply bribes where necessary, and guide people in the wrong direction. That sort of thing. See, look, I am an expert in my field. Tricking guards into going and searching completely in the wrong direction. That is something I am quite good at. I can make them run circles around themselves, buy you time, fill your things with that. Weird magical diseases that force people's minds into searching for a color that doesn't exist. That I'm not really an expert in. So I figured you all look weird in the most best sense. I thought that you might have some idea about weird colors that people are looking for. Stop that, dear. Stop. Please. She looks at him for a second. It's sorry, it's just a little weird. She's sewing into her dress as she's wearing it.
Teresa, hi. My
Yes?
name is Dr. Timothy. You can call me Timothy.
Have you seen the color?
No, can you describe it?
It's it's so radiant, and it's indescribable.
Is it a shade of a different color you might recognize?
It's between the colors of clarity and perfection.
And Teresa, have you ever seen this before? And Timothy pulls out the citrine algae.
No.
No. Oh, okay. Good. Just
I'll
check.
take that. I can hold on to that.
Look, that's fine. It's fine. Really, not a big deal.
I see something in you. Have you seen it?
Me?
The weird thing that has colors within it and colors without of it. You all have seen it. Well, maybe not all.
What else can you tell us about this thing? Is it alive?
I don't know. It's a being of perfect clarity and color. Light shines through and splits into 1,000 threads, and each of those threads is itself the purest expression of color.
Would you say is anything like a prism?
What's a prism?
Like a piece of glass that's cut into a shape, and you put it in the light, and the light splits and makes a rainbow.
She nods. And the color at the heart of the rainbow, that radiance, the one that is inside all of it, you've seen it? And as she's saying this, Cat's Grace sort of clears his throat, and he reaches down and he grabs the edge of Teresa's skirt, and he just sort of raises it above the table so you can see. And you see that she's sort of been stitching into the side of her skirt a rainbow emerging from a prism.
Alexa, are you thinking fish court?
I'm thinking that we should stay. 2 days, maybe 3. At that point, I think I can buy a couple extra days somehow. But after 2 or 3 days, we go back to Racy, okay? But, I mean, you'll help me with that, right? Like, if I need to go back to Racy, you'll get me there.
But also bring Masha here.
Maybe. If you'll help me, then yes, I say we stay.
And I think on that moment we will end the episode. Mostly because I think we'll stay as a good ending. Okay. And with that, let's hand out some experience points. And all that good stuff. I'm gonna write these in the chat as I do them, but rather than on the Roll20, because I'm not on the Roll20, but I'll do it before next time. Excellent. Pooh boy. Celexa, how'd you do?
Okay. Celexa wants to aid the Grand Accord. I think that right now she's kind of more focused on herself.
I agree.
So I'm going to say no for that.
Okay.
Using every means at her disposal to cure the Rakshas's curse. In progress.
1 point.
Doing the best she can to hide what she knows from the party. I believe, yes, she did, and then also she chose to play against that, I think, at a certain point.
Yep.
So I would call it either... And can we call that accomplished, actually?
Yeah, I think we'll split the difference. Call it accomplished. It's not subverted. It's not sacrificed exactly, nor is it not done exactly. It's accomplished. I'm going to call it 2 points. Sound good?
Right, cool. 3 altogether.
3 altogether. Gotta love it. Okay, Thea.
Guiding light, get the team closer together. Yeah, I think we talked.
Agreed.
Talked. Belief 1, I wanted to get Celexa a gift or something. Didn't happen today. Belief 2, want to use the genie to benefit the group. I think we did that.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to take 2 points for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Up to 6. Next up, Timothy.
Guiding light, jeopardize himself for the mission to save a life. Not really.
No. If you had taken the Citrine Algae, I'd give that to you.
Right. Timothy will help Narash study the tainted Citrine Algae and cash in his favor afterwards. Working towards, I guess.
Sounds good.
Number 2. No, not yet.
Okay.
Oh, well, learn about any unnatural goings-on.
Yes, I'm 100% going to give you that, actually. This is 100% an unnatural going on.
Yes.
Yeah. And, yeah, all that good stuff. Absolutely. Nova.
I don't think I threw myself into danger today. I don't know if I made myself available for friends to help them on their own personal mission, except for Celexa. But that also has to do with my belief too, because concerned about Celexa wants to make her feel better, whether she likes it or not. I think I'm still working towards that one.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give you a point for that. Sounds good. And Narash.
Yeah, guiding light, really the sort of team player building their confidence in me. I think a lot of it was about me this time, but at the same time I did ask about Illumina Starborn, and I was trying to do work for Celexa a little bit, so she doesn't want to accept it. So I'm sort of half and half on that.
I think yes.
Okay, yeah, thanks. And belief 1, time to figure out the Citrine Algae mystery. It seems rather complete. I think you're the better judge of that, because there's probably even more to learn, but it was a lot to learn today.
Yeah, I think anytime we learn that much, we'll call it a complete thing, although if you want to have that belief again, I'm not saying there isn't more to learn. So we'll call that 2 points.
And then belief 2, the sleeping potion, rekindling my desire to work with plants, trying to create the medicine. I didn't really create the medicine. I got a hint on how to do it, and I didn't actually actively look into other substances so much.
But you got some ideas, so we'll call that working towards.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Excellent. There you go, guys. I'm going to put that here for now. But more than that, I will put that in the Roll20 slightly later. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the show. This wonderful group of humans is a lot of fun to game with, and I'm very lucky to game with all these awesome and wonderful people. Please, go take care of yourselves. Take care of other people as best you can. And as always, the best advice that I can possibly offer you, don't forget to call your cat and feed your mom. Bye, everyone.